sequences, and a shows some kind of pattern. And today we're going to talk about what's called an arithmetic sequence. And these all have a specific kind of pattern. And an arithmetic sequence is a sequence that adds the same number each time. So an arithmetic sequence is like plus 4, plus 4, plus 4, plus 4, all the way down your list of numbers. And the common difference is the number being added. And sometimes your common difference would be a negative number. So it can be negative. So like if you subtract, if your numbers are going down like you're subtracting, then your common difference would be a negative number. So these first 6 examples, the first thing we're going to do is look at my sequence and see if I'm adding the same number every time. And you have to look all the way down the list, because it could be that you add 3, add 3, add 3, add 4. And then it would not be arithmetic because it wasn't the same number every time. So on number 1, what do I add to 5 to get 8?
3.
3. What about from 8 to 11?
3, 3, 3.
So from 11 to 14 is 3.
Yes.
And 14 to 17 is also 3. So since that stayed the same all the way across, that meant that yes, it is arithmetic, because it added the same number every time. And my common difference is 3, because 3 was the number being added. Now, what would the next 3 terms be in this sequence?
20, 23, 26, 29.
Okay, just 3. Just 3 is all I need. Because in the directions, I did say provide the next 3 terms. Yep. Let's look at number 2. It is going down, which means it's going to be a negative number. So how do I go from negative, or from 23 to 16? It's, my difference would be negative 7. Yeah. Because I am doing minus 7, which is the same thing as saying plus negative 7. And 16 plus negative 7 is 9. Plus negative 7 is 2. Plus negative 7 is negative 5. So it did stay the same all the way across. So it's yes. Out the 3 terms. Negative 12, negative 19, negative 26. That is correct. Alright, so from 1 to 2, what do I add?
1.
2 to 3?
1.
3 to 5? 2. It does not stay the same all the way across. So it's going to be a no. It is not arithmetic because it's not the same. And we don't have a common difference. We don't have the next 3 terms because it's not the same all the way across. So if it's a no, we just move on. Number 4.
It's like 2.
So from -6 to -8, my common difference is -2. Yep. And if I keep checking, it is -2 all the way down the list. So it's a yes. My common difference is -2. Yep. -16, -18, and -20. Number 5, adding what? 12, yep. So, -35 plus 12 is -23. And then if I add 12, yep, plus 12, yep, plus 12, yep. So yes, it is arithmetic. My common difference is 12. What? Yep. 13 plus 12 is 25, 37, 49.
So that's a yes.
And number 6 is -10.
Okay. So from 34 to 24, it is -10. 24 to 14, is that -10? 14 to 4? 4 to -4? No, what is that? -8. So did this stay the same all the way across? No.
Just to -14.
Yep. So it would have to be the same number all the way across. So it's a no. Are there any questions on that? So yesterday or Friday in our last lesson, I gave you a formula and said, all right, now find the 7th term. We're going to come up with the formula ourselves now. And if it's an arithmetic sequence, I give you the formula, you just have to plug numbers into it. And so that formula is AN equals D times N minus 1. It's always minus 1 there. Plus A1. And to write a formula, we only have to plug in 2 numbers. What is this? What does this stand for? What do you think? The common difference. Yep. And what is this?
First number in the sequence.
The first term. Good. So if you can identify those 2 numbers, you've got your formula. And remember, AN just means any term. You know, if I want you to find A7, you're going to find the 7th term. So let's look at number 7. We're first going to write a rule, which is the formula. Sometimes you'll hear the word rule. So let's start there. I need to know my common difference which is what? 4, because I'm adding 4. So my common difference is 4. What is my A1? Negative 5. My first term is negative 5. So I'm just going to plug those two numbers into my formula. So I plugged in a 4. I plugged in a negative 5. Typically, you do not want to write plus negative. What do you put instead? Just a minus sign. So AN equals 4 times n minus 1 minus 5. So this formula, if I told you to find the 500th term, you just plug in a 500 for n. I am asking you to find A24, which is the 24th term. So we're going to do A24, and I'm going to plug in a 24 to the n. And then just type that in your calculator.
Do we put the A?
No, you just start with the 4. And you get 87.
I got 400, negative 460.
Make sure you put minus 5 and not a negative 5 there. Yeah. So if I kept this pattern going, the 24th number would be an 87. Any questions?
What if the pattern is not arithmetic, or however you say it?
On these types of questions, I would not ask you to write a formula if it did not stick with that pattern.
How do you say that?
Arithmetic.
Okay, I'll never say that right.
It's fine. It's written just like arithmetic, but it's arithmetic. It's fine. I know what you mean.
It looks like arithmetic. It's so weird.
Yeah, it is weird. All right, let's go to number 8. What is my common difference? Negative 9. Good. And A1? It's what? It's 20. My first term is 20. So before we find the 15th term, we need to write out the formula. So AN equals, I'm just filling in those two numbers. So negative 9, n minus 1, plus 20. And then my problem says to find the 15th term. Yep, we'd get negative 106. Did you get negative 105?
I got 156.
Well, negative 106 is the correct answer. So check and make sure you put a negative 9.
I didn't do that.
Yep.
Okay, I got negative 106.
Good. Any questions? Number 9. My common difference, yes, is negative 3. And what's my A1? Negative 6. So my formula, AN equals, it's my common difference of negative 3 times n minus 1. And then it's plus negative 6, which is really minus 6. If you put plus negative, that's okay, but just putting a minus is better.
I just reloaded it.
It's like, I could give you 10 dimes, but a dollar bill would be a lot easier. You'd probably rather have a dollar bill. Same thing, but
Well, because the dollar bill you can put in the wallet for 10 cents, you can certainly hard to keep
Yeah.
the wallet.
Yeah.
Unless you have a little change card.
so I'm asking you for the 38th term. Negative 3 times 38 minus 1 minus 6. Yep, negative 117. Any questions?
Are we done?
No.
Yep.
Alright, so I'm giving you a similar problem. I'm asking you to write the formula and asking you for a specific term, A12, on all of these. But what essential piece of information do I not have?
Sequence.
I don't have the actual sequence. And in my formula, what two numbers am I supposed to plug in?
The difference.
The difference in the first term. Which of those do I not have?
The difference.
The difference. Because I don't have my sequence listed out, I can't tell what my difference is. So, in order to find that, we're going to do a little formula-like thing. Yeah. It looks a lot like the slope formula. But it's not slope, it's different, but it just looks similar. So we're going to subtract, we're going to find the difference between our two terms. So negative 7 minus 3. And then we're going to divide that by how many spaces we've got between those two terms. So we're going to do 3, because it's the third term, minus 1, the first term. And you can just type that all in your calculator. So we do alpha y equals, that gets a fraction, negative 7 minus 3 on top, and then 3 minus 1 on the bottom gives us negative 5. And so now we have our common difference and we have our first term. So remember that formula, AN equals,
3.
so it's, my difference is first, negative 5. It's actually up there on the board if you want to instead of having to flip back and forth in your notes. It's 1 plus A1, which is 3. No.
Put 12 and then.
Yeah.
Why don't you just write it that way the first time?
Well, because I want a formula that'll work for any term. Because what if I ask you for like a bunch of different ones? You could have this formula to go off of. So you could plug in a 12, plug in a 30, plug in a 500. Because you need to know how to get a general formula. And so then I do ask for a 12. So then we're specifically going to find the 12th term. And is it negative 52?
Yeah.
Good. Let's go to number 11. We'll start by finding the common difference. It's 6 minus negative 17. So you do your big numbers on top, and then the little numbers, the 24 minus 1 on bottom. You need to be careful because that's 6 minus negative. So make sure you type it in correctly. 6.
So how do we put that type of thing?
Alpha y equals. And it's the first one. 6 minus negative 17. And then 24 minus 1.
Why?
Yep. So my common difference is 1. It's adding 1 every time. Alright. So my common difference is 1. My A1 is negative 17. And so that's what goes into the formula. So AN equals 1 times n minus 1. And then minus 17. Yep. If this were a multiple choice test, you would not see the 1 in front because it's unnecessary. So it's not wrong if you write it, but I need you to recognize that those are the same.
Pardon me.
So then I'm going to find the 12th term. Negative 6.
I can't see.
All right, and then number 12. Let's start by finding the common difference. What am I going to subtract on top of the fraction?
19 and 30.
19 minus 3. And what about the bottom? You got to make sure you do it 5 minus 1. So since I did the 19 first, I got to do the 5 first. If you flip that, if you do 19 minus 3, but then 1 minus 5, the sign of your difference will be off. So instead of like positive 2, it would be negative 2 or whatever, which would throw your answer way off. So do we get 4?
Yeah.
I believe you should get 4. Make sure you get that sign. So my common difference is 4, and my A1 is 3. So AN equals 4 times N minus 1 plus 3. And A12 would be 4 times 12 minus 1 plus 3.
47.
Yep, 47. Any questions on how I did these problems?
I have a question. What is the point of any of this? Like, what realistically would any of...
Now, these next 3, I've given you an arithmetic sequence, but I've taken out some of the terms.
So it's the same. So we're just finding the difference.
We've got
We're
to-
above, but
yep.
we're
Yep, we've got to figure out what the common difference is to know what to plug into those blanks. Now, I've not told you specifically what 3 terms those are. It doesn't matter. You can label them whatever you want, as long as they're 3 right in a row. So I could label it a 3, a 4, and a 5. And those are, I can use those 2 numbers in the formula up here. As long as you get consecutive terms, like I couldn't make it 3, 2, 9, A3, A2, A9. They have to be 3 in an order.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7. Yep. So to find the common difference, I would take 40 minus negative 20 on top. And then what numbers would I use on bottom? 5 minus 3.
Too much more than that.
All right.
11:30.
Is it 30?
Yes. The common difference is 30. So that means if I take negative 20 and I add 30, I get that blank. And what goes in that blank? 10. And then double check, is 10 plus 30 40?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Yep. All right, let's go on to number 11. This one has 2 blanks, so we need 4 consecutive terms. So I can make it A2, A3, A4, A5. It doesn't matter.
Could you just write the answer down, just like if you figure it out?
You could guess and check, but I will likely give you some where the difference is like 2.4. So to make sure that you're not just guessing and checking the whole time. You can do that a lot, but you still need to know the process for actually getting it. But yeah.
Why would you label the different things other than like A1, 2? Why,
Just to
why
show
would
you that it can be any 4 that you want it to be. It doesn't make a difference. Because see how there's 3 dots before that? Technically that would mean that that's not the first one. That would mean that there's something before.
True.
So, but it really doesn't matter. Yeah. So the common difference, 49 minus 31, and then 5 minus 2 on bottom. And you should get 6. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So that means if I do 31 plus 6, I get 37 plus 6, 43. Is 43 plus 6 49?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. And we have one more. So I could label this A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. My common difference, -2 minus 22 on top, 5 minus 1 on bottom.
Could you go up to a double digit on the A1?
Yeah, you could do, you could make it 500, 501, 502, 503, 504.
Will it get you the same answer?
It will. Yeah, because no matter which ones you choose, your bottom number, they're still going to be 4 apart. So whenever you subtract them on the bottom, you're still going to get 4 on the bottom. As long as you pick consecutive numbers, not just 5 random numbers out of the blue.
6. Something to it.
Should be -6.
I typed in 22 minus -2. That's what my.
And then, so if you did that, then you would have to do the 1 minus 5. You have to be careful with the order. So if you do this one minus the first one, you've got to do the 5 minus the 1. You've got to stay consistent with the direction you're going. So what's 22 plus -6? 16.
And
10.
-2.
What's after the 10?
4.
4. Yep. -2.
Okay, now we're done, right?